Hi everyone, so in today's tutorial we're going to look at creating a schedule of mortgage payments. So just a quick recap from the last tutorial, we looked at calculating the monthly mortgage payment. So you're going to need to know how to do that before you can do the schedule of mortgage payments. So if you haven't gone through that tutorial, you might want to pause here and go and do that one first. Okay, so this is the question we were working on in the first tutorial. So we use this information in order to calculate the monthly mortgage payment. And this is what we had found out, was that we figured out what our monthly mortgage payment was. And the other information that we need to do or need to know in order to calculate our schedule of mortgage payment is the amount of the loan and the down payment. So that's our starting point, and then we're going to use those three pieces of information to calculate everything else. So if we just go to the example question, so again we're dealing with that question with Conrad. So it's the same question from the first tutorial. So I'm going to start by putting in the unpaid balance, and the unpaid balance is, to start with, the amount of the mortgage. So with Conrad that was $80,000 we determined. His owner's equity was the amount of home that he owned at the beginning, and that was what he put for his down payment. So that was $40,000. Okay. The payment amount column is just going to be the monthly interest payment. So that was, for every month it's going to be the same thing. So that was $639.20. We can do that for each month. Okay, and then what I'm going to do now is go across the first month column and fill in all the information. So the interest payment is basically we're taking the payment amount, the monthly payment, and we want to figure out how much of that amount is going to the bank as their charge for giving us this mortgage, and how much is actually going to my principal in owning my house. Or in this case, not my house, it's Conrad's house. Okay, so our interest payment is going to be the unpaid balance, $80,000. And we're going to times that by our interest rate, so 7.5% for this question, and then we're going to divide that answer by 12, because otherwise it would give us the interest payment for the whole year. Okay, so when you do that, that worked out to $500. Okay, your interest payment or your interest amount is always going to be less than your monthly payment. To calculate how much of the house then I owned that month, if you want to think of it that way, it's going to be the payment amount, the monthly payment, $639.20, minus our interest of $500, and that works out to $139.20. So we're going to then use that principal to calculate our new unpaid balance and our new owner's equity. For our new unpaid balance, we're going to subtract that amount from the previous month. So we'll take 80,000 minus 139.20, and that gives us 79,860.90, or sorry, 80. And then for our owner's equity, we're going to add that, so that's going to be we're going to add 139.20 to give us 40,139.20. Okay. To go to the next month, again, I'm going to start off by doing my interest, so I'm going to use the previous month's unpaid balance, so now I need to use this amount for my second month. Okay, so I'm going to start off by using 79,860.80, and we're going to times that again by 7.5%, so this part doesn't change, and then divide that by 12. Okay, and so that will give us 499.13. Okay, so what you're going to notice, the pattern that you're going to see is that our interest payments, or the amount of interest we're paying to the bank each month, is going to go down. The amount going towards our house, towards the principal, is going to go up very, very slightly every month. And again, our unpaid balance is going to go down, and our owner's equity, these numbers should be going up slightly every month. Okay. Our new principal, again, we're going to subtract, so this would be 639.20 minus the 499.13, and that gives us 140.07. Okay. To find our new balance, we're going to take the previous month's unpaid balance, and we're going to subtract from the previous month 140.07. Okay, and that gives us for this month 79,000. That's a 9 there. 79,720.73 cents. And then for our owner's equity, we're going to add this month 140.07. And for this month, it comes to then 40,279.23. No, sorry, 27. Okay, and then we can continue doing that for the next month, so I'll just put in the answers quickly. So again, I'm going to change the interest by using the previous month's unpaid balance. So I'm going to start off with 79,000. I'm just going to change my pen here quickly. That one's a little too thick. 79,720.73. And I think this one is a little too thin. We're going to times that by 7.5%. And divide by 12. Okay, and that for that month it works out to $498.25. Okay, our new principal is going to be 639.20 minus 498.25. And that works out to 140.95. Okay, for our new unpaid balance, we're going to take the previous month and we're going to subtract 140.95, and that gives us 79,579.98. Okay, and for our final owner's equity, we're going to take the previous month and we're going to add 140.25. Okay, and then that one works out to 40,420.22. I'm out of room there. So you can see every month that our interest is slightly going down a little bit by pennies almost. Our principal is slightly going up unpaid balance is going down, and owner's equity going up. So for every month that we're making these mortgage payments, the bank is making a little bit less money off of us each month, and we're putting a little bit more into the equity of our house. Okay? And that is it for today's tutorial. If you have any questions, you can always send me an email.